The previous video, we have learned about the non-disjunction that occur in the autosome, which cause monosomy 21 and trisomy 21. However, non-disjunction can also occur in the sex chromosome. So it will also cause some abnormalities. So let's see what is the effect on the non-disjunction on sex chromosome. So it occurs in the sex chromosome due to non-disjunction during spermatogenesis process to form the sperm, or during non-disjunction in oogenesis, which form the ovum. So it can occur either in meiosis 1 or meiosis 2. Any extra copies of the sex chromosome can cause developmental errors. Most of the sex chromosomal abnormalities are gender specific, so it is either male or female. So for female abnormalities are the results of variations in the number of X chromosome. So for the patient which has the non-disjunction that occurs in the sex chromosome, she has 44 autosome. So means the autosome is normal disjunction plus triple X. So we call it triple X or super X syndrome. Or this female has 44 autosome plus XO instead of the normal XX. So she has 45 chromosomes, which is called Turner syndrome. While male abnormalities are the results of irregular numbers of either X or Y chromosome or both. Example, he has 44 autosomes plus XXY. Instead of XY, he has extra X chromosome. So this is called Klinefelter syndrome. While XYY syndrome, which is 44 plus XYY. Okay, this is a trisomy case. So the irregular numbers of either X or Y chromosomes are carried by abnormal gametes produced as a result of non-disjunction during spermatogenesis or oogenesis. So this is a diagram showing the normal disjunction during meiosis in spermatogenesis and oogenesis. So let's say this is the autosome and the sex chromosome. So the autosome is normal disjunction 44. Okay, now we focus on the sex chromosome here, XY. So during meiosis 1, the chromosome X and Y will be separated as a pair of homologous chromosomes, while in meiosis 2, the sister chromatid will be separated. So as a result, we have X and Y sperms. While in the oogenesis, XX will be separated as a pair of homologous chromosomes into X and X. Sister chromatid will be separated. So as a result, we have only one type of the gamete in the ovum, which is X. Okay. However, if non-disjunction occurs during spermatogenesis, during the meiosis 1, the sperm will have abnormal sex chromosome, which is XY or O, instead of X or Y. If non-disjunction during meiosis 2, the sperm will have XX or YY or O. Okay, so when the abnormal sperm fertilized with the normal ovum, then this is the results of the syndrome faced by the individual. Okay, let's see the diagram, how it occurs. Okay, so for example here, so the individual has X, Y. Okay, for the sperm. So now meiosis occurs during spermatogenesis. So let's say non-disjunction occurs during meiosis 1. So this pair of homologous chromosomes fail to separate. So now it will become XY. So this one will be empty. Okay, so now meiosis 2 is normal. So the sister chromatid can separate. So this one empty will be empty. Now this XY, how would it separate? Is it XX, YY, or XY? Okay, now remember what we have learned during the meiosis process. This X and Y, they align on the metaphase plate. Okay, X and Y align on metaphase plate. So when they separate during anaphase to the opposite pole, it will become X and Y. Okay, not XX and YY. So X and Y. So when this XY fertilize with the normal ovum X, so it becomes XXY. So this is called Klinefelter syndrome. So later we will learn what is the symptom for this Klinefelter patient. While this O fertilize with the X, so it becomes XO. So XO is called Turner syndrome. Okay, what if non-disjunction occur during meiosis 2? So now XY, normal meiosis 1, homologous chromosome separate. So now X, Y. Non-disjunction during meiosis 2. So now this X fail to separate, the Y fail to separate. So when the X fertilize the XX here becomes XXX. Okay, so this is the triple X syndrome. While this X fertilize the O become XO, which is the Turner syndrome. X fertilize this YY, now becomes XYY. Okay, XYY is Jacob syndrome. Okay, well this one X fertilized with O become XO, Turner syndrome. Okay, non-disjunction might also occur during oogenesis. Okay, during meiosis 1 or meiosis 2. So the abnormal ovum cross with the normal sperm. Okay, and this is the result. So I will show you the diagram for oogenesis process. Okay, so for female we have XX. Okay, so let's say non-disjunction during meiosis 1. So homologous chromosome fail to separate. So we have XX empty. So meiosis 2 is normal. So the sister chromatid separate. So now we have XX. Okay, so this one is O. So now sperm has two types. Either it is X or it is Y. So if the X fertilize this XX, now become triple X syndrome. If the Y fertilize the X, then it becomes XXY, which is Klinefelter syndrome. Now this empty ovum, if it is fertilized by X, then it becomes XO, which is Turner syndrome. If the sperm Y fertilize the empty ovum, then it becomes YO. So for the patient with YO, usually they do not survive. Okay, they will just die. So later I will just explain to you why YO cannot survive. Okay, now we focus on this. If the non-disjunction occur during meiosis 2, so XX, normal meiosis 1, homologous chromosome separate. Now non-disjunction occur during meiosis 2, sister chromatid fail to separate. So now both cell has X. Okay, sorry, this one has empty. This one is X. Okay, XX also. So now when the Y fertilize, it becomes XXY. Or when the X fertilize, become XXX. Okay, so same case lah. This one X become XO. If Y become YO, which is do not survive. Then this one X become XXX, XX, Y if the Y. Okay, this one XO or YO, YO does not survive. Okay, now look at this. Klinefelter syndrome XXY. So it occurs between 1 in every 500 to 2000 male live births. The person develops as a male. Why he is a male? Because he has this Y chromosome. Okay, he has male sex organ, but he has some subtle physical defects. So the phenotype is varies, but many XXY individuals are unaware of having anything wrong with them, except that they are sterile. Okay, they are sterile. Testes and their prostate glands are abnormally small and produce small amounts of testosterone. So they have breast enlargement just like female, and usually they have long arms and legs. So they may have some feminine characteristics such as soft voice, and they may have subnormal intelligence. So others are mild mental retardation or learning disabilities. Okay, so example, Klinefelter syndrome patient, they have breast development just like female. Okay, and they have narrow shoulders, they have poor muscle tone, they have long legs, long arms, small testicular size, okay, lower IQ than the others, tall stature. So we just remember some of the characteristics from this Klinefelter syndrome patient. Okay, so this refers to the breast development in the male, in the Klinefelter syndrome patient. So for the karyotype of this patient, all the autosomes are just normal, except that they have XXY. They have 47 chromosomes. So we write their karyotype as 44 plus XXY. Okay. Next one is a Turner syndrome, 45 chromosome XO. So it is 1 in every 2,500 to 5,000 female live births. Why it is female? Because we only have she only has X chromosome here without the Y chromosome here. So this is because of the woman missing an X chromosome, meaning that she has only 45 instead of 46. So they are females who are sterile because of no menstruation, sex organ do not mature. So it does not undergo any changes during puberty. So most have normal intelligence. Okay, so for Turner syndrome patient, characteristic short stature is opposite with the Klinefelter syndrome just now. Webbing of the neck. So this means the webbing of the neck here. Triangular face. Okay, see triangular face. Lacking of the secondary sex characteristics, lack of menstruation. So Turner syndrome patient, the karyotype autosome is normal, sex chromosome, and only has one X chromosome. Okay, YO. YO, we say that it is non-viable, fail to develop further, because human cannot survive when they lack of the gene on the X chromosome. Okay, so if only has YO, meaning that this patient has only 44 autosome without any sex chromosome, because Y chromosome does not carry any gene. So if 44 chromosome in total, human cannot survive. So it is non-viable. Okay. XXX, triple X syndrome. Okay, 1 in every 1,000 live birth. So she is fertile, taller, long leg, usually normal in other respects, except in their karyotype, may have slight learning difficulties and lower range of normal intelligence. Okay, so other than that, other characteristics are just normal. So from their physical outlook, we cannot tell that whether she is trisomy X or normal female. Okay, see, the facial features are very normal. Okay, Jacob syndrome, 47 chromosomes, XYY, has double Y. So it is 1 in 1000 live male birth. Extra Y chromosome, slightly taller than average, more active, normal intelligence, slight learning disabilities, delayed emotional maturity, normal sexual development, meaning that he is still fertile. Okay, so with the extra Y chromosome, it is predisposed to aggressive behavior such as criminal. Okay, so it is normal male of normal appearance. So because of the extra Y chromosome, he is extra aggressive as a male. So normally the criminal case will be acted by this kind of Jacob syndrome patient. Okay, so these are the 4 cases that we learned about: Klinefelter syndrome, Jacob syndrome, Trisomy X syndrome, and Turner syndrome. So it is only changes on their sex chromosome. Okay.